Pause with me for a moment and notice your breath. Where is it going? Are you inhaling deep into your belly? Are you shrugging your shoulders, clenching your jaw, and inhaling into your chest? While you're sitting here, take a moment again to notice if your jaw muscles feel tight, if your neck feels like it constantly needs stretched, if you've got that pesky tight spot in your upper back near your shoulder blade. If you have some of these symptoms, you may be experiencing chest breathing due to stress. When we experience stress, our body sounds an alarm signal that creates sympathetic nervous system activation. Sympathetic nervous system activation is when our body turns on its fight or flight mode. And this is because your body can't recognize the difference between a paper due at the end of the week and a bear chasing it. On top of that, in order to stay up, in order to cope with our stress, we often consume a lot of caffeine. This also activates that sympathetic nervous system, increasing those sensations of fight or flight and increasing those sensations of anxiety, all of which feed us forward into becoming chest breathers rather than full, deep belly breathers. Today, we're going to learn how, when we're in that cycle of stress and sympathetic nervous system activation, how we can use breath work to downregulate our stress symptoms in order to create what we refer to as parasympathetic nervous system activation, or engage our rest and digest state. We're going to do this through two primary breathing methods. The first breathing method that we're going to use is a technique called box breathing. In box breathing, we draw air deep into the belly through our nose on a 4 count. We'll hold that breath for a 4 count. We'll exhale through pursed lips for a 4 count, and we'll hold for another 4. It's called box breathing because it has this 4x4 structure, and that can also be expanded out 5x5, 6x6, or as long as you're comfortable doing that breathing for. The second breathing technique that we're going to use is called 2-to-1 breathing. If you've taken yoga classes and engaged in any type of breath work before, this will likely be familiar to you. In 2-to-1 breathing, we're inhaling on a particular count and exhaling for twice that particular count. Again, for whatever time duration is comfortable for you. Today, we're going to practice these breathing techniques in 2 particular positions that I like to use in order to help people calm down, downregulate, get a little bit of spinal decompression, and improve our breath. Let's get started. To begin with, we're going to start in position 1. Position 1 is where I'm comfortably on my back. I've got my lower leg resting on a bench, a chair, a couch, anything that's comfortable for you and that matches your height from hip to knee. From here, my hips are at roughly a 90-degree angle and my low back is flat to the ground. We're going to begin with a brief cycle of box breathing. To start with, I'm going to put my right hand on my heart and my left hand on my stomach. I'm going to breathe in through my nose and try to expand that air into my left hand first, finishing by expanding it into my right. So we're going to inhale on a 4 count. Pause for 4. Out through the mouth for 4. And pause for 4. You can repeat this breath cycle as long as it's comfortable for you. For our second breathing technique, we're going to focus on something that we refer to as positional breathing. So after we've gained skill in these breathwork patterns, we can get ourselves into more challenging body positions to practice our breath skill even further. We're going to do our second breathing pattern in a quadruped position. So from this quadruped position, I'm going to put hands under my shoulders, knees under my hips, and we're going to practice our 2-to-1 breath, that second technique that we spoke about earlier. So again, I'm going to breathe deep into my belly, but I don't have my hands for feedback this time. So we'll inhale on a 5 count, in through the nose, into the belly. And then we'll exhale for a 10 count. And again, in through the nose, expanding the torso in 360 degrees. And out for a 10 count through the mouth. And again, you can complete this breathing technique for as long as you need to feel comfortable.